23 mile an hour. So hi everybody, just a wee wind test. As you may have known if you've seen one of my short videos, I got this new Robens Starlight 1 EXP, the Expert series apparently. And these things are supposed to be tested up to 99 miles an hour before they get destroyed. So having noticed it was a breezy day today, I thought I'll just nip up to the highest point I can find south of Glasgow. I'm on Ballaghaig Hill. I'll put the height on screen. And I thought I'll just practice pitching this and see how we get on. I measured the winds there, they're actually about 20 mile an hour, topping out about 22. So not particularly high, a good strong wind though, a good challenge just to try pitching a tent for the first time. Because I've yet to sleep in it. As long as I get the two main pegs in, the wind side in, it was okay. And then you can put the arch in, pop that up and then do the rear pegs at the ends. The good thing about this tent is there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 pegs to go in. So it goes up pretty quick, and as you'll see at the ends there, they've got these very strong end straps. So, apart if you can hear me over the noise of the door, unfortunately, the rest of it seems quite quiet. This door, because it's open, it doesn't have an elastic tie back here, so it could do with being a wee bit tighter, and it's getting blown about because it's on the windward side. But other than that, we'll close the tent up and see how quiet it is. Quite impressed with the way it's handling the wind, it's staying pretty steady. I think because it's polyester it doesn't make an awful lot of noise, and it's not subject to a lot of stretch either, which is good. So let's close this door up and just see if it's any quieter, because it is flapping about quite a lot. So that's a bit better. Yeah, the wind's whistling over it. I don't have the vents open, there are bottom vents here at the head and foot you can open and let fresh air completely through. One thing I did notice, and somebody else commented on, was on my original tent there was midgie mesh attached to the vent on the outside, so you could open it but you could stop the bugs coming in. Unfortunately on this one you can't. So I'm not sure what they've changed in the EXP, to be honest. I believe the poles are shorter sections, so it packs a wee bit shorter. Very, very warm in here at the moment. The Robens Starlight's been around for years and years and years, so I kind of think of it as a bit like a Volkswagen Golf. It's a design that's tried and tested and has probably been tweaked over the years. So you know what you're getting, you get exactly what you pay for, and you don't pay an awful lot, under £150 for a tent that's in theory being tested to 99 miles an hour. I don't know if I want to find that out, but if it does me for 35 or even the odd 50 mile an hour gust and it copes, then great. And talking to users so far, everyone seems to think that it does. It's fairly gusted at the moment, you can probably hear it. It's also a very warm tent because it's mostly a solid inner, an optional vent of mesh in the top third of the door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open some vents here. We'll try and get into this outside one. Oh, there you go, that's a huge difference. And we also have the same on this side, but I'll just keep that closed for the moment. And we've got this top vent above your head here, so you can close that. That has got midgie mesh in it, which is good. And then it takes you to the outside through here, and you can actually see right out the tent if need be. There's a prop vent you can close, and you can fully zip up the fly sheet, so if there's driven rain or whatever, or snow, you can close that. Other than that, think a kind of fairly tight Helleberg Acto or Abisko Light 1 from Fjallraven, very similar. Two little pockets at the back here at the wider point, but it's not that wide. It's quite coffin-like, but for me, perfect for cold weather, windy weather and winter use, because it's nice and cosy inside and enough room in here to stash a rucksack, or possibly stash one at the end because it's quite a long inner. So you could probably get your rucksack propped up at the top there, and then that gives me enough room for cooking. A couple of wee oversights on the door. There is no two-way zip here, so you can't vent from the top, unfortunately, which would help for cooking. And at the bottom there is no catch to avoid zip creep, although there is a very substantial tape here to keep the distance correct, so hopefully that door will not be subject to any major creep. It's certainly not creeping in these 20-mile-an-hour winds. And just to show you, that's the inner door now closed, and it can be fully solid polyester. I think a lot of the weight is this inner fabric. It's pretty chunky, it's very hard wearing, but it's pretty strong, it's pretty thick. But what you can do here is on this top third of the door, you can then open that to midgie mesh and just roll that back to a couple of tyres here. So again, you've got some concessions towards ventilation, and to summer weather makes it a bit more useful. There's also a stash pocket here for the door, but I guess at night if you're sleeping you could use that for storing a few extra bits of kit. But there's not an awful lot of pocket storage, to be honest. It's very simple. Being fairly heavy duty, the ground sheet is 10,000 mils, so I'm not going to even bother with a footprint on this one. And the fly is 5,000 mils hydrostatic head, and it's all obviously taped at the seams, so I'm not expecting it to be letting in any rain in any time soon, although there is rain forecast tonight, so I may leave it up and just see how we get on. I'm not actually out to camp, I've nipped out at lunchtime just to show you this in case it's of interest. So about 140 quid from a number of sites online. As I say, a long and well tried and tested design. The pole itself is not DAC, it's I think it's 8.5 mil, but it's just 7001 alloy, so pretty standard generic fare. But because of the little kinks in the poles at the top here, gives you a wee bit extra headroom possibly just here, but also more importantly makes the pole less likely to flex or billow about. It actually kind of creates something a wee bit more solid. It does feel confidence inspiring, I'll say that for it, and for the price I think it's a great value tent. I always have thought that, and I thought that's why I'll buy another one just now, just so as I can test it over the coming autumn and into the winter, just for me. I hope it's still the same, but on the original one these are all luminous zip pullers, which I thought was a nice wee touch as well, and that plus your clothesline above you is a nice touch. So yeah, it's well thought out. It's got a good number of features for the price. I suppose it's kind of similar to Vango prices, and whether you go down the Vango route or not, but this has supposed to be very strong. The inner is also attached with these cute little clips here. I don't know if you can see that. You've got these little ball and socket links for the inner and the outer, which can just pop out. You can move the inner, keep that dry when you're backpacking, stow it away, and then just keep the fly separate when it's wet. But I have one big bugbear about this tent so far, and it's the only one that really annoys me, and it wasn't something that was mentioned. This apparently is meant to be, according to Robens' website, 2 kilograms. That's about my maximum limit for a one-person tent. Otherwise I'd be as well taking something like the QU Stormstar above that, because it will give me a lot more space, and it's only about 2.7, 2.6, 2.7. What I've noticed on this is when I weighed it, and I've cut all the labels out, I've cut everything extraneous, I've actually taken one of the little plastic adjusters off to get the clothesline at the top. Anything I could save and shave a wee bit of weight on, 2.3. That's well over what the manufacturer puts on the website. So Robens, if you're watching this, what the hell's going on? I thought I was buying a 2 kilogram tent that was bomb proof. So make of that what you will. So other than that, I don't think there's an awful lot to report. I'm going to nip outside, measure the wind again, get this down and get back to work. So thanks for having a wee look at this wee short video. The next one will be me actually trying it on the hills, hopefully this weekend. Cheers just now.